Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. Hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to introduce the co-host, Miss Courtney
Hello, everybody.
and Jerry.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Good to see you guys again.
If you're just tuning in today for the very first time, whether on a rewatch or live, we're on every Tuesday, well, most Tuesdays, schedule permitting. And I lost my train of thought.
And we do a drawing. Well, you'll do a drawing and do a couple of chat drawing challenges with some of the people in chat.
Right.
Jerry's coming on this time.
Jerry, are you drawing today?
He is.
I'm drawing my Battle of the Sketch entry right now as we speak.
Oh.
Then he has time to do the 2-minute challenges.
Who chose Ghost in the Shell?
Andy McDonald.
Oh, okay. So you got the last one. You're the last. Next week is yours.
Yeah.
And what was yours?
The Ultimate Muscle.
The wrestler. Is he a wrestler or?
Yeah.
All right. Let me wrap this drawing up real quick, and then we'll get started. I think is that someone else?
It's Fletch.
What? No static?
It is Fletch. We can't hear him.
Fletch is in like spring training, isn't he?
Yeah.
I am. I just called to say hello.
He's drunk dialing us.
How is it, Fletch? How's the weather and everything? Seriously.
It's about 70 degrees. It's 70, 80 degrees. That's pretty good.
That's sweet.
Was it Port St. Lucie?
I'm in Tampa right now. We go to Port St. Lucie this weekend.
But you're at Double D's house.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to catch the Orioles tomorrow in Sarasota, and then the Tigers in Lakeland, and Friday is Clearwater for the Phillies, and then the weekend will be the Mets, Port St. Lucie.
Wow,
that's awesome.
What is the longest you guys have? Like, how many games are you watching this time, and what is the longest you guys have caught? Because this is a ritual that you guys do, right?
Yeah, we just started this a few years ago, but we're going to see a game every day until Monday. Monday, we're going to end it with Mets Yankees at Pryor Field in Tampa.
Okay. And all good seats.
Well, it's all seats that we can get a hold of. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. You guys doing all right?
Yeah, pretty good. Just started.
All right.
Are you gonna draw along? Or you gotta head out?
I gotta head out. But hey, are you live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hey everybody. Sorry. B, I'll give you a call afterwards, and I'll talk to you about when I'm in Taipei.
Well. Oh, right. Okay.
All right.
All right. When are you gonna be there?
April, end of April.
Okay. All right. We'll talk.
Hey, Fletch, David's going to be in Japan for a month in April.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll hit him up too. I gotta hit up Ivy's friends in Japan too.
Because there's Osaka Con. Are you going to the Osaka Con?
No, I'm not gonna make it for Osaka. But yeah, probably. I got a lot going on. There's a lot of different stuff to hit up. So
popular.
Yeah, so popular. But good to hear. All right, have fun.
Say hello to Dan for us.
I will.
That's it.
See you guys in a bit. All right.
Okay. Bye. I used to like baseball.
You don't like it anymore?
No, because there's no more Expos.
Oh. I wouldn't recommend being a Padres fan because they lose a lot, so.
I think it's just fun to go watch live.
Yeah, I like the live watching. I'm not a big fan of like watching at home or over TV or at a bar.
I love baseball.
Well,
I
when
love
does the
all
season?
sports.
When does the season start?
Next
This
week, I think like April
next
1st.
week, right? And then, are you going to any games?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I will go to some games. I'm not playing them yet. I know I'll be going to. I gotta take Ivy to a couple Mets games this year, and
Is
she'll
there,
probably hate it. She'll probably like the
He'll
drinking
like
part, I
it.
guess.
He'll be
But she'll
Yeah,
probably
no.
get bored of the game.
I
It's
mean, I think
boring but fun when you go.
you gotta go. You gotta go. I go when I go. I go for batting practice because that's when you can get a baseball. Um, so I think when you get a baseball, it makes the game more fun, and you're getting like a good deal because you're getting like an actual authentic baseball.
Yeah,
Is that
I
Mr.
gotta
Chen?
go this year. I'm gonna try to get there earlier than that so that we can get onto the field during batting practice.
Oh,
Mm.
right. So you got the connect.
Yeah, and try to take advantage of that.
Well, plus you got all the food there. You gotta go early, right?
I
I
mean,
mean,
sure, why not?
part of that is like the spread. That's like a vacation.
You got special
Okay.
tickets, Jerry?
I mean,
Jerry did
I've
the
done work
artwork
with
for
the
the
Mets.
Mets. Yeah, Jerry
No, I
did.
know
Jerry
that,
did work
but
for the Mets last year, so
so
he gets the hookup.
oh, nice. I think the last time I went to a game, I was right behind home base, and I just made faces at my friends that watched me the whole time while I was drinking wine and pretty drunk. It was,
Wine. Who drinks wine at a baseball game?
well, they had like really good wine. It was like the most specialist seats. It was like right there. It was like right behind the batter. It's like you see the batter, you see me.
Yeah, but those are the seats. Those are like $1,000, right?
Yeah, because one of my old childhood friends is something for the Padres or something. I kind of forget,
He's
but
the
his
chicken.
his company that he works for has he does recruitment, so he travels to recruit baseball players.
Oh,
And so yeah, we sat there and they had all the
you
fancy
mean
alcohol. So
scouting?
yes, sorry, scouting. Yeah, that's it. So we got drunk.
Yeah, those are
Jerry,
great.
what's huh?
I only sat at those seats once, but it's like all you can eat and all you can drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it
Well,
was.
have you been to Yankee Stadium?
Yes, I have.
What's better, Yankee Stadium or
I
City
mean,
Field or Shea
you
Stadium?
you go to Yankee Stadium to actually, for the history, tradition, and to actually watch the team win, right? You go to the Mets game to have fun and get drunk. So, because the Mets aren't as good, obviously. So it
What is
depends what
the
you want.
what are the Mets projected to do this year?
Oh, they're not going to be very good this year. But
No, I thought last year was the year.
yeah, and they were a historically bad team.
Not as bad as Padres. We
I
beat
feel
you.
like the Padres had a good team last year too, right? They were projected to go to the World Series, right?
Yeah,
Because
and
then
they
they
lost
Well,
traded
at least
for a couple of
compete.
favorably.
They were
guys.
projected to compete, and as the Mets were, but both teams were bust, and both teams coincidentally went out and spent a lot of money, and it
Yeah,
did
Yeah.
not do
exactly.
much for them.
Which makes us the worst losers because we like spent a lot of money to try to win, and we were just terrible, terrible losers.
Not as much as the Mets.
Yeah, not as much money as the Mets spent, so don't worry.
Really? I thought Padres were actually the highest.
No,
But
the Mets had the highest payroll in the history of the sport.
what? Wait, what were the players? Which one? Which player? All
Uh,
of them?
Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's plenty of guys.
Wait, so what would you say out of how many stadiums have you been to, like Major League Baseball?
I've only been to Yankee Stadium, Shea Stadium, City Field. Where the Expos played was it Olympic Stadium or something like that.
Oh, you went to an Expos game?
Yeah, when the Mets were in town.
Oh, okay.
And I drove by Wrigley Field with Cliff one year in Chicago, but we did not
Oh.
go to a game.
Oh, you were there for a convention?
Yeah,
Okay, I've been to Wrigley Field when I was a kid, but I
I've
didn't
walked
really,
by Fenway, but I did not catch a game.
you know. Yeah. Um, I went to one of the last games at Shea Stadium. Uh, one of the very last games, not the last game, but one of the last games. There's a charm to the old stadiums.
Yeah, I mean it was
Yeah.
a dive, but it was kind of cool.
I remember the very first game I went to at Shea Stadium was freshman year. John Paul, myself, and a buddy Gonzalo. We got tickets, and we're thinking like, oh, we're gonna sneak in. We'll get like the cheap seats, and then we'll just sneak into the an empty seat,
Mm.
And but nope.
Oh,
Once we sat down, like the usher immediately came and snagged us. Like we thought we were being like slick, but I think because all the seats were like season ticket holders, so they knew that
yeah.
we didn't. Obviously, we stuck out like a sore thumb. So they knew we were trying to sneak in, and then afterwards, um, the guy, one of the season ticket holders, they obviously knew, but they said, look, just tip the guy like $20 or something each, and you can sit down here or something. Just tip the guy like $10 or something. But this was like 1990, so um, and as a college student, I don't even think I had like $20. I mean, I remember the days when going to the ATM, uh, like $20 would be the max I'd pull out.
Yeah, now
That's
you're
it.
pulling out like thousands at a time.
No. But it was just like $20 would last me like a few weeks. Because I'd go to the Chinese restaurant down the block from Pratt, and I would get the vegetable rice special, which is like, I think it was like $2.50 or something. So that would last me. I would go like once a week, so that'd be like $5, 2 weeks. That's $10 right there. And they would hook it up. They load a lot of vegetables on there. And then when I started working at Valiant, I got the chicken option, the house chicken. Let's see who's in chat. Mr. Flowers. Good to see Mr. Flowers. Bonds Inc. Good to see Bonds Inc. Jamie Odell. Did Jamie Odell go to the Mocha Fest this weekend?
Nope. Or if he did, he didn't stop by and say hi.
Ooh.
How was the Mocha Festival this weekend? You guys are fresh back from the show.
Honestly, that was one of the best shows I've ever experienced. At least like in an artist alley setting, and it was cool because I met up at our store today. Josh Bayer came by, and he's I guess he's one of the bigger deals for indie comics, and he does quite well at Mocha. And I spoke to him, and he said he had a pretty good year, and he actually shared financial numbers with me, and it was pretty cool to hear. Like he was very open about it with me. It was just nice to hear what he did and the difference, the different things that we both did compared to each other. So it was like kind of nice to actually share that with him.
What book does he draw?
It's these like we sell them at our store, but he draws like very indie comics. They're like kind of Bill Clinton type of stuff, and they're very angry. I must say his art style.
Bill Clinton, like the president?
No,
Of stuff?
Bill Clinton or something like that. I don't know. He's a name I kept hearing at the show, and I saw some of his work, and it's kind of like that, like angry indie comic stuff. But Josh is pretty cool because he also teaches a few classes and stuff like that. And
what does he teach?
Just like comics and making comics and DIY comics.
Okay. Uh, by the way, so we want to talk about today's subject du jour is AI comics. As obviously there's a little bit of a controversy going on in the comic book industry. Kevin P. West, good to see you. James Quo's here. Too woke to toke. Oh, Mr. Clips. Mr. Clips is here. Mr. Clips is back. Good to see Too Woke. Lurky Lurk is here. Good to see Lurky Lurk. Kevin P. West. Just some dude. What's up, James? How you doing? Jay Dang is here. Good to see Jay Dang. Mr. Hands. Let's see who else we got. Poop Kids here early. Wow, this is like the earliest Poop Kids, like premature Poop Kid. Yes, I am drawing digitally. I got to. It's a little faster. All right, let's set it up for. What do you think about this, Jerry? I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna try to make some Kobe stickers. So I'm gonna use these. What do you think?
That's pretty cool.
But I was thinking about doing it where. Why is this camera blurry? I have other ones. I have one where he's the younger Kobe. So I'm gonna do these different versions of Kobe throughout his career. Is there still a stigma with Kobe around the U.S. or is he now more accepted?
He's still dead.
No, well, he's dead, yes, but the stigma about his trial, because people love him in L.A. So here's the other question I have: like, do you ever draw armpit hair?
Yes, I do.
Every
It looks
time.
weird when you don't add it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, all right. So I have a little armpit hair.
I think Sean snuck on.
Sean's on, Mr. Chen. So I want to do like so. This is one of his last versions of Kobe. So I think we would do like 3x3 stickers. I think these would be kind of cool. But
Oh,
then
that is cool.
it'll be like an away version. The poster that I did has like a youth version. Let me see if I pull it up. If I have it on here. Mr. Chen. Sean Chen.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah,
All right.
I heard a lot of talk about sports, so I just
AI. We're talking
yeah.
AI.
Hot button topic.
Uh,
Yeah, it uses a lot of covers, right? A lot of covers are being, and then some companies hiring AI people.
Oh yeah, Yojimbo put up a Valiant want ad for AI video creator. Interesting. Those guys.
Valiant.
Well, it's Alien
Oh,
Books,
boy.
it's not Alien Press. Where is this
Well, there's
poster?
two Valiants. There's one that owns the characters and the IP, and the comics are put out by Alien Comics.
Mm-hmm. So
it's not Alien Comics. It's the parent company that wants to turn that IP into movies and TV and all that stuff.
So who's doing that? Who's like controlling that? Is it the parent company or is it the?
Yeah, this guy named Dan Mintz who owns DMZ or whatever that Asian company is.
Oh, okay.
Dan Mintz, but not the guy who does the character voices for Bob's Burger.
There's another Dan Mintz.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's two guys named Dan Mintz, which is really weird. But
So this is another one, but I'm gonna have to. I couldn't find the file where these were separated. Maybe I'll spend a little bit more time.
A sticker out of that?
Yeah, I want to make an individual sticker of like Kobe, and I want to do like a whole series of them.
Oops.
Yeah, a lot of sticker stuff going on these days.
Stickers are quite popular. However, I heard that some shows like they now forbid stickers.
Yeah, because they end up being stuck everywhere.
Yeah,
in the bathroom and parking lot.
So if we sold stickers, are we contributing to delinquency?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's only in some, maybe only one or two shows that does that.
I mean,
sorry guys.
Everything okay?
No, that was Brian Yang. He wants me to do some comic with Sung Kang.
Is he in New York?
No, he's in LA, but he's been talking about some Sung Kang comic thing with me.
Okay.
It's a big commitment.
Oh yeah, shit. I guess I should talk about that later, but
I don't really like Kobe. So Jerry, see this? So I have a young version of Kobe.
Did you even like Kobe?
Not really. I mean, I respect him in the sense that for the
oh yeah, he's awesome.
career accomplishments.
Yeah, and he is next level in terms of like training and preparing for the game.
Yeah, competitiveness, the dedication to the craft. I think that is very something to admire. But so I wanted to show a couple different things. So there was a AI thing. Yojimbo's here. Good to see you, Jimbo. If you're just watching for the first time, make sure you hit that sub button down there somewhere, or follow button, whichever you're watching on YouTube. Once we get the YouTube numbers up, we're going to be what are we going to be doing? Once we get the YouTube numbers up to 1,000, we're going to move over to YouTube. Is Twitch still popular, or
it's? I think it's winding down.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, it's still around, so Jimly's still on it.
Has it been streaming?
I think it was again.
Oh, it? Shit, I should jump on. Well, Poop Man's here, so dude.
I saw something because I do a lot of research into like the writing side of stuff. So there was this guy who was talking about how it's going to change screenwriting now that you have this guy comes up with this device that allows you to iterate a lot faster and write screenplay a lot faster. And he's trying to sell this product and try to sell people on it. And he says he understands that everyone's like really scared about it, but if you would just listen to him for like 20 minutes, it'll change your mind. And he just laid out this whole case, and he says, and in the end, it's like, you see, like, you still need writers. The writers have nothing to be afraid of. It's going to help writers, and it's going to be really productive, and it's going to be good for you. And then this thing also has a feature where you can quickly storyboard the whole thing instantly. So he says, like, yeah, the writers are all fine. Like, and you can get rid of you don't need storyboarders anymore. And I was like, oh, hey, hold on. That's what we do.
What is he like, AI video?
Well, and it's a script writing program that it helps you write a better screenplay, and then eliminates the need for a storyboard artist, because all that stuff can just be generated through just verbal commands or just through commands, and then it'll storyboard it much faster and much better than hiring an expensive artist who's just going to be all like expensive and like a prima donna or whatever. So you can just get rid of that whole industry of people, like, how we made our bread and butter in the 90s by doing storyboards.
Right.
That industry is gone pretty much now.
Well, the storyboard industry itself is shrunken. It definitely isn't as big as it was before. And our buddy Mark, Mark Moretti, we used to work with at
Yeah, well, I mean, there are
Valiant,
people who've retired, so having retired, it doesn't really affect you. But
and Trevor.
yeah,
No, but even Mark I was talking to Mark a while ago, and he's like, this was years ago. And he's like, before they used to storyboard all the movies. It was a prerequisite. But then they started doing previs because of all these blockbusters, right? So these superhero blockbusters, they would do previs, which is they're already pre-building the environments in 3D. And then once they have them built in 3D, they place a little camera in there and they do the storyboards from that vantage point. So it saves them a bunch of money and a bunch of time because they have to build the environments anyways. And I think one of the things that was kind of led to this was I remember watching Superman, them having like because they had to build Metropolis, and so since Metropolis is already built, then they can do the whole fly-through sequences and the battles, as opposed to doing the storyboards first and then, building the Metropolis in 3D, if that made any sense. So,
right.
so a lot of movies.
If you've been hired for shot choice, like kind of like what we do with comics, is like, how do you establish a scene? When do you push in? And what are your options for a flying scene? All that stuff is one of the things the storyboard people do. Is not just are able to draw it, but you kind of art directed. Like you determine the sequence of the shots, and then I can see going into a previous thing. But if you have someone that just takes place of the drawing, then you have basically a director, or someone like picking the shots. And if they're not particularly creative, you might end up having like a very generic.
Well, no, they would have the previous guys would end up doing some of the storyboarding, and the previous guys, they're just 3D modelers. They're not necessarily storytellers. So I think that was what Mark was leading to, was that's eating up all the big budget, blockbuster movies, and then the smaller movies are kind of what's left, and some of them aren't even being storyboarded, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they are.
That movie, Poor Things, they didn't use any storyboards, and like I think it's a point of pride now, where like the storyboard part is kind of seen as like thinking within a box.
Yeah.
I think a lot of directors just like to build an entire set and just show up on day one, and then just start riffing on what's around.
So the
Werner
Poor
Herzog,
Things, that's the one with Emma Stone. They didn't storyboard the entire
there's
movie.
no storyboard,
Oh.
and that movie was fine. It did fine without a storyboard artist. But they did do the previs thing though, because I saw them build the entire.
Well, then that's the story. That's where they did the storyboarding. They did a lot of blocking in the previs. If the sets and everything are built in 3D, so they'll do that first, and then once they build it, and it's not, they don't render the buildings, they don't render the environments fully, so it's still like kind of grayscale or blocked in. But then once it's built in the 3D, then they go in with the camera and they pick the shots and the angles from there. So therefore, they're eliminating kind of this human component. Even though those 3D models are still built by humans, they're built by 3D modelers and not specifically storyboard artists. So,
Jerry, they must be built by a ton of humans too. Yeah. If you look at the end credits to any of those Marvel movies, those credits go on and on and on and on. It's to the point where you have to put something at the end to make sure people sit through the entire credits. If you hire hire me for a movie, I'm your one storyboard artist there, and I do all of that. Like I don't, there's no like wireframe building and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I haven't seen the
There's
movie.
different
Is it
ways to
any
work,
good?
but I loved it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
There was a drawing that I saw, like somebody did the drawing of Emma Stone, but like her boobies are popping out of the dress.
Yeah, she's it's popping out all over the movie, so you see a lot of
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta
So
watch
like,
that.
imagine like this premise. It's sort of like a Frankenstein thing, where Frankenstein's looking for a new monster or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
so there is this rich woman that jumped to her death. She was pregnant, so there's like a little bit of craziness that comes with pregnancy. So she offed herself by jumping into a river, and he pulls her out, and then has this idea. Her brain is dead, but her child is still alive. So he's like, I'm gonna put the baby's brain inside the adult mother's
Oh,
head,
wow.
and that's how it starts. So that premise alone, like, I'm sold right there because it's a creative and cool idea, and then it's
Yeah.
all craziness after that.
Pretty interesting. There's the Frankenstein dude, right? I guess.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe. That's William Dafoe. Okay. That's the Green Goblin. All right. So AI. Jerry, aren't you glad you didn't get into storyboarding?
Well, I did a long time ago. I did one storyboarding job, and I gotta say it was just awful. I hated it. I hated it.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it was too much work. I did not enjoy it at all.
So this piece won the Spawnuary contest. One of the winners, Todd McFarlane, chose this. And I think the controversy is that people are claiming that this is AI. And then the guy was very combative online.
Yeah, I mean, that guy is not doing himself any favors because I mean, a lot of his other stuff is done in AI, and this one you can pretty much tell it was. So when you call him out on it, he says like, "Well, you're just jealous because you didn't get chosen. So good luck being in the minor leagues. It's the air is nice up here. You guys suck." Like, he's never gonna work again. Like, who's gonna hire him if he has that attitude?
He had another piece on here where he tried to show the process. This was another piece that he had submitted. And just kind of, it's very Frazetta-esque.
Regardless of how he came up with that stuff looks really good. I mean, from an aesthetic point, like, it looks really cool. And I don't think he did it, but whatever did it, that stuff looks cool.
Yeah. So
what has Todd McFarlane said about all this?
He hasn't said anything. Oh, here. Okay, so this is his explanation, which is this is a little comical. So this is his.
We went from that.
What?
So he's saying this is his first drawing. This is his rough drawing.
And then after is ta-da!
Yeah,
done.
right. So I mean, it's a little like, come on.
He did that like yesterday too.
AI. Like, what do you mean?
So this is really like, he basically just took the finished piece and then traced over it to get this. To say that, oh, this is how I started. And then this is the pencil line drawing. I mean, this is just complete bullshit because these lines don't even match up with the finished piece of the skull. So he's clearly tracing here. So he's trying to show this process piece, but it's just.
You think he's working backwards from the finish?
Oh yeah. That's completely backwards because let's look at this skull on the far right, and
well, it would make sense if it was exactly the same. You said it's different, so the difference shows that it evolved, right?
Well, okay. Let's look at the skulls. Let's look at this left one here with a little white dot on it, right? This one that you can kind of see it has like a white dot on it, right? And two white dots on it on the far left. And if we go back,
that's barely recognizable as a skull. It's as if someone who hasn't seen a skull before drew a skull.
Yeah, but
Oh,
if you look
AI.
at
Nice.
the line on the top of the top of the skull, this prelim is like very rough, but the finished one is very solid, right? That defines the top. There's even like a little slight bump. It's not a circle. There's like a little slight bump on the interior, and that's a drawn line. But to go from this black and white, and even looking at the rougher ones, the line quality is not the same, and you cannot fake that because uh, his natural line is very sketchy, right? It's like
There are different AI models where you can actually enter your art into it.
okay,
those are becoming more popular. It's very
yeah,
easy sketch. My boyfriend did it because he's like, oh, one of his some of his guys, his friends that work for Hyundai,
uh-huh,
whatever. They're kind of messing around with AI so he made a sketch of like a very rough sketch, and then he basically scanned it in, and then it came out with like something more fully formed. So, and he was able to change kind of the look of it, the art style of it. Um, so that's what I'm thinking this guy did. He took maybe even that rough sketch, um, because he has kind of like that watercolor thing going on for it. And it's just so strange to have that. His lines in the watercolor is kind of not, I mean, it just doesn't make
yeah,
sense in my mind. So I think he put it in there and said, I want watercolor. He might have even said, you said it looked like somebody else's kind of artwork. He might have actually put that guy's name, like honestly, because that's how
right.
it's
That's
imitate.
yeah,
And that's honestly what I think he did. And then that's what it came up with. That's why there's these weird changes of things that don't really make sense visually for us. Like the skull looks less skullish or something like that. So that's that's my take on it because there's so many of the art ones now that people are using in that way.
uh, so
Yeah.
this is another guy. This is Sean's buddy.
Okay, like before you go on, like the thing with that other guy, um, there's a way that sketches look when they're on their way to being more refined. Like if you were to draw like this really quick kidney bean shape, and in the end it becomes a uh, like a minion. Uh, but if you're trying to fake it, you work from the minion backwards. There's not that weird kidney bean shape. It's just basically the finished minion, but with a sketchy, hairy line around the
Mm.
outside. Like that like you can't like there's no in between. There's like that really super rough napkin drawing. And then it gets into like a sketchy outline and then the finished product.
I believe him.
Mm.
You believe he drew this? Here,
Well,
so
I don't.
here's
Yeah,
another
if
guy.
I
Hold on.
knew AI, I wouldn't draw it by hand because I would do exactly what he did and just hope not to get caught.
So this is alleged. Again, this is alleged. There's no proof. Again, this is another artist. Uh, there's
Oh, okay.
there's
And
a,
this guy.
there's a lot of inconsistencies. However, now this guy also does. So this is the finished printed cover right here. You can see this in color, and there's a little bit of wonkiness in the anatomy. You look at the chest, the
Mm.
Shazam's left arm. That bicep, the hand is a little wonky. I mean, he's like holding who has a punch that's like, I don't know.
The cape,
And
the veins. What?
well, but the cape is what makes the cape in the face, uh, and the tethered, the shredded clothing is really what makes this piece so exciting, and the line hatching in it. If you look at the hatching in the cape, the now the face is like super powerful, but the rest of the body is a little bit inconsistent. But again, this is an artist that's trying to show his process. If you look at this, it's very quickly sketched out. To me, this looks like he's reverse engineering, at least this stage.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Like AI is not going to really cause a net loss of jobs. It's going to be just like at the end of the Marvel movies where you see 1,000 credits. There's going to be thousands and thousands, if not millions, of people getting more work because of AI, and that's a good thing. But I mean, the kind of stuff they might put us out to pasture, but it opens up more jobs. And one of these jobs is going to be, I think, what companies are afraid of is that if they hire someone and someone uses AI, then something that they scrape from is owned by someone else, so that whatever the movie or the comic that comes out has to be pretty much pulped because an artist is making a claim that this was taken from my work. So either you have to compensate me or you just don't print it. And the company is right. All companies now are saying you cannot use AI primarily because of a legal issue. So you have to sign something that says that you did it. And so another one of these jobs that's going to open up is the AI art forensic investigator, for someone who knows art, who can reverse engineer and trace things back to their source and tell you if the process that's being represented is indicative of an artistic process or someone trying to cover up the fact that.
Right.
So that's going to be a job, and that's going to be a job that pays a lot because movie studios are going to have to hire you because there's going to be claims left and right.
If you looked at this piece initially, would you think that this was AI or would you think that this was drawn?
I thought AI would do a better job.
Yeah, I mean, the inconsistencies in the muscle. So I think this is a combination of what Courtney said. Her boyfriend took an initial drawing of some type and then inputted AI. So it's not, there's a little bit of reverse engineering, but I do think that there is, like, the face is super strong, right? The hair, the face.
Does this guy? Who is this guy? How many does he have? Like 1 million followers or something?
You can't say who this guy is.
I'm not really like exposing names, but you guys.
Sorry.
Now he does he has other videos on his site, which shows him actually drawing pencil drawings and then watercoloring them. Like this face right here. These are clearly this face of Shazam and Marvel Girl. These are clearly traced at this 3/4 up angle. It's extremely difficult in comparison to the style of faces that he draws here. This is rather cartoonized, and the eye itself is a little bit misplaced. It's a little bit high and up, whereas this version of the Shazam, the eye is clearly much smaller. It's not as animated or cartoonish. If we can if we compare the two. But he has videos there on where he's actually drawing by hand from scratch.
He can draw. I mean, I've seen him draw before.
So he can draw. I mean, he's a decent artist. I think this is a case of like Sammy Sosa taking some steroids to try to break the home run record.
Or like a corked bat.
Right. Well, hey, Carson McKinney's here. Carson goes to SCAD. So Carson, curious, what's the overall attitude on campus at art school when it comes to AI? Because I mean, you're studying comic or you're studying sequential art there, but obviously, like something like this can come in and just basically, why go to art school? Simple Man's here. Good to see Simple Man. We have another co-host. The last thing brings me to this guy here. You guys seen this guy's videos? YouTube sensation. Devin Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, well we know he doesn't do that.
right? So this to me is like, man, such a poser. I mean, it's a show. He's not really drawing it. I mean, he's drawing stuff, but the drawings are all pre-done in a sense that you never see the blank page. You never see the first. Now, there's earlier versions where he'll draw like a circle. Let me see if I can do this.
So, this is the guy who draws people on the subway, and
Yeah,
before
it's
you
the guy
get
who
off,
draws
you
people. Yeah, he draws
yeah.
people on the subway. Right, so he'll start off with like something like, "Oh, I'm on the subway, and I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and then all of a sudden, boom! It goes from this to like um, a finished piece. Now, here is a inconsistency in, if you look at this drawing here, and you look at this guy that he's interviewing, right? I'm gonna freeze frame here. Look at how low this guy's hair is. It's almost right. It's kind of like right at the
Right above his
first
eyebrow.
brow, right? And then you look at the drawing. Fast forward. I don't know if I fast forward. Now look at this drawing, right? The hair is all the way up here at the top, and um, he has this like little thing that comes down on his forehead. If you notice, he has that detail on the. You see it? It's right above the triangle. It's like the bottom of a star. So the guy that he's drawing is this guy, Ass Pizza, whatever. I don't really. Maybe somebody in chat knows Ass Pizza. It's like some kind of fashion wear. Oh, shouldn't say streetwear. Jerry says streetwear is not. Well, but maybe this guy does. I don't know. Jerry, have you heard of Ass Pizza?
No, I have not.
Okay. Apparently, it's a big thing. So let me get to this. I want to. So I'll talk. So he's obviously did the drawing on a pre-drawn, projected a photograph onto the paper. And then he's kind of finishing it out. And I suspect there's different levels of the drawing that's been pre-done. I don't know how long this chat is, because again, they're editing it. I don't know if he's sitting there for like half an hour, 45 minutes. At the rate that he's rendering, it looks like it's going to take him like half an hour to 45 minutes to render plus talk. I mean, it takes me like double the amount of time on stream to draw and chat. So he's no James Quo here in terms of speed. So he's probably sitting there for an hour doing this if he's doing it completely from scratch. But it's been pre-drawn, and then he's just kind of like sketching and rendering, and then I think goes between different. He might do different ones, but okay. Here's the other one, freeze frame. This is a forensic detective here. Let's look at his sketchbook. You see his sketchbook, right? It's a spiral-bound sketchbook. Now, I know that the spiral-bound sketchbooks, the pages you can rip out. Some of
But
them
they're
are
always bright white also.
Yeah, and some of them are perforated. But if you look at the edge of the sketchbook, we zoom in on the edge. Look at that. The top paper is not even part of the sketchbook. The top paper that he's drawing on,
Liar.
if you can see that on there,
Right.
is an actual piece that's jutting out.
You can tell that?
Already
It's,
pre-done that. Huh?
I
I
can't.
should be a fucking.
I
I should
see
be a
it.
detective.
I see
You
it.
see it? It's like
Yeah.
it's like jutting out a little.
Right underneath the K.
Yeah, right. It's jutting out already.
To the
So
left of the
he's
K,
trying to
sorry.
hide it. He's trying to hide it. I don't know if I can go in further. There we go. Look at this. You see it? Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it. There's a little delay. Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's no reason for that little paper edge to be there.
Yeah. There's no need, right?
I mean, it
'Cause if
wouldn't
you're
be there
drawing it
unless
from
it's a
the
separate
sketch
piece.
pad,
Yeah.
and then you rip it out and give it to the guy. But see, it's already been pre-done, and it's actually a thicker paper than the sketchbook paper. Anyways, and then the hair on the.
Also,
So
like you
to
can
me,
tell the drawing, the process of that he's showing is not a good drawing process. It's not the sign of a really skilled artist because he's drawing. You know how the thing is, you have to train your eye not to focus on objects. Like he's drawing eyes and nostrils. He's drawing features and not paying attention to the distance and the light and shadow between features. Like he's got some time to go before he's like a really good portrait artist.
This guy's a multimillionaire. So
Yeah,
what do I know?
I know with the endorsements, yeah, he's
Okay, so wait.
he's a lot.
So this is the final drawing. Please forget the pause play button. But let's look at the final drawing. The hair is up. You see the star tattoo on his forehead, right? The hair is actually kind of thinner. And so it's completely staged.
Also,
So
I mean,
this is
if
a
we're doing
drawing
this, the
from a
paper
different
is too
day, right?
textured.
No.
The
He's drawing.
paper,
This is the drawing. I think he's rendering it here. He's probably already drawn it before.
but that
Um,
paper is too textured compared to
Yeah,
the
I
sketchbook.
was about to say
yeah,
that. There's
and
the
you can
textures
see.
different.
And you can see. Let me show this. Here's a clear image of this being a completely separate piece of paper.
Well,
Here
why
you
can't
see
he
it
just
right
tell
there.
you that he was using the sketchbook as an
Oh, yeah.
easel, like as
He
a
could.
clipboard?
But it's all a show. It's all a show.
But yeah,
And then
that's different hair. Like that's a different day. Like when
yeah,
his
it's
hair
a completely
came
different
down
day.
in the wind or something, but in a photo studio, his hair was up higher.
That's a different artist, Sean.
So look at this guy. So this is that day. He's sitting there drawing. Look at how low his hair is. Look at how his hair is like fluffed. You know, it's covering the tattoo. There's no way. So not that it's humanly impossible to draw someone point by point, but that this is to me. So the question is to you guys: what's worse?
Tracing or AI, or staging and lying or AI?
Yeah. What's worse? Right? This guy's a multimillionaire, 8.7 million followers. He just had an exhibit in New York City. Uh, I'm sure his pieces sell for hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Has a great story. You know, he grew up in a broken family. Um, I don't think he finished high school, or he got into high school the art and design in New York. Overcame obstacles, and now is this kind of person that's spreading positivity by doing drawings of people in subways and handing it to them to make their day better. But it's all a lie.
Didn't we met someone, or was maybe I just met someone who said they went to art school with him, and they said that these are all faked.
Well, I mean, it's if you live in New York and you draw on the subway, you know how difficult it is to draw on the subway because it's not smooth. It's like shaking all the time. And people get out and people move, right? So initially, but this is him getting people now. He's kind of shifted the game a little bit. He has the most recent one. One of the recent one is he does this. This who's this guy that does the naked comedy, right? And again, same thing here. I don't know why people don't call him out. Uh, Here he's drawing this guy, and the hair is like off because he's trying to draw him like as if he's drawing him on the subway. Like people usually look down on their phone, or in the past they're reading newspapers or books, right? So obviously he's trying to pretend that he's actually drawing him. But again, look at the hair, and look at this guy's hair. In reality, this guy's hair is like all the way down here on the side, covering his face, covering his eyes. And then in this drawing, whoa, where's the hair? I mean, at least like you're sitting there, and if you're drawing, at least make the hair come down, right? And then what happened to the jacket? This guy's wearing a jacket, and he's actually more plump. It looks like he's more plump in real life. So what's worse? Chat. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, a lot of things are smoke and mirrors. Like I don't really fault this guy because that's how everything's done. You know, I'll admit when I put up my sketches from Battle of Sketches, I gotta scan it to get it onto my phone, and then I figure like, well, hey, since I'm here, it's scanned in. I'm gonna put it in Photoshop, this eye is too high, and then I
That's
never
your own
say
edit,
anything.
though. That's not like
Yeah,
that's not AI doing edits for you.
but
That's
then
you changing things that you want to change about it. I've done that to old art where I'm like, oh,
yeah,
this is
I
kind of
think we all
wonky,
do that.
but
But the
that's
general public thinks that we just kind of just did it in one shot with a pen, which is
Who's
Oh,
the
is never
I
the
do them in
case.
one shot. I ain't gonna do all that work. That's too much.
who's ZHC? Is that the Zach Shea? Oh, by the way, you were saying also, Sean. You were saying who's the other guy? Ross Strauss. What happened to him?
Oh well, I mean it's kind of came up. I think he had to put out a lot of material. I mean the pressure is really tough to produce a lot of content. So I think when he did some sort of drawing where he traced and a model and did minimal changes to it, and then never mentioned the model or the
Oh,
photograph.
okay.
And then since so many people jumped on him, he's like, "Well, this is a really toxic and it's bad for my mental health." So he took some time off.
Yeah, so this is ZHC, guys. Actually, I think I mentioned him a while ago. This guy bought like a $10 million home. Maybe we're doing it wrong.
Why don't you just challenge him to a draw off on the subway?
No, but maybe we're just doing it wrong. I mean, shit. Why are we busting our asses so much? Why am I working like uh all these hours? You know, when I could just push a button and then go out and have fun and then boom.
Yeah, I
Bernard. I think
mean,
you should try it. Send you link for the.
And
Should
then
do
and
that.
then
Let's do
nobody
it.
nobody knows. Nobody
Let's see what it
knows.
looks like. Put your art in. I want to see what it looks like.
I mean, you look at the guy, the Devin guy. Nobody knows. Everybody, he's got, he just had a major exhibit in New York City that people are like fawning over, and nobody knows or nobody cares. Is it nobody knows or nobody cares, or is it a
Both.
little bit of both? It's both.
Yeah.
So
People want to believe it.
why? Why?
yeah,
I mean, why are we working so hard?
I think that you have a career in that forensic
Forensic?
process art,
Yeah.
forensic art process guy. I mean, and I'm only half joking because it's going to be a huge thing. Like you have to get up on stage, put on a suit, get up on stand, and they're going to ask you about the art process and tell, because people don't understand, like, how do you get from here to here? And you got to educate the jury on why something doesn't smell right from a professional artist standpoint. And then you get paid thousands and thousands of dollars for that day.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
This
and this
guy
is a
here.
job.
Huh?
AI is an ideal job for a mediocre artist.
That's me. 100%.
Okay, well, but that's good for a lot of people who need to make a living. Art is kind of a gatekeeper thing. Like, really, only the top 10% can actually get jobs. That's also bullshit, because there's a lot of work out there for people who know enough about composition and color and stuff, but just don't have that kind of like persnickety draftsmanship down. And that last 10% is just so hard to achieve. There's more work for everyone now. Like, so the forensic art process litigator, I think, is a great career for someone.
Yeah, no, I basically just go to court and then look at the stuff and give my expertise. This is actually a pretty good video, though. So Ross Strauss, let me see, Carson McKinney, right? It reminds me of ZHC, who I actually follow because his early videos were like how to draw videos. Well, yeah, Zach ZHC, Zach Shea really tried to like become a comic book artist, and now he's like too expensive. He's gotten like too good. Not too good. It's gotten too expensive to like even try to draw comics anymore. And I think he's becoming more like just a YouTube influencer kind of guy. But he went from like very basic average art, and then he discovered David Finch, and he started kind of copying David Finch, which is okay. And it got to a certain point, but he never learned the fundamentals. He just kind of skipped to doing something, and then he hit a plateau. He hit a ceiling, and then he had this. So, anyways, this is Ross Strauss. This actually was a pretty good video where he shows his high school portfolio to get into college, art school.
Oh, that's his mom. right?
Yeah, it's his mom. Yeah.
That's
Wait, was it one of you guys that said you knew somebody who went to art school with him? Or no?
no.
Because I guess it's somebody else who told me that they went to art school with alongside Ross Strauss,
Wow.
and
He's really good. Oh, man.
but
Wait,
also
this Asian guy is Ross Draws.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the top of the pyramid, the number one best, like probably like the one that earns the
Well,
most.
ZHC has more followers, but
Well,
this
I think
guy,
he started with more. He did so much on YouTube and social media before it was really, really popular, I think. So that's why he
yeah,
just blew up more. But the people, I'm forgetting who told me, but they're like, nobody liked him in art school. They thought he was like insufferable and had issues with
Wow.
him. So I never met
um,
the guy, but that's
yeah.
just
Well, who
Well,
cares
so
if
this,
nobody liked him in school? Like seriously, who
yeah,
cares?
no, I know.
Maybe they're just
high school.
jealous.
No,
This is his high school portfolio.
kind of forget what they said about him, but yeah.
So
Man,
I
that's
do
his
think,
high school portfolio.
yeah,
That's
I do
damn
think
good.
this guy has tremendous talent. Look at this. This is high school. He's already doing these character sheets,
Yeah,
doing character studies.
that's really good.
They're a little manga-esque, but they're still very good. He's trying to study different angles. Um, he's developing accessories or different creatures,
His faces
right?
have gotten a lot better.
Well, I mean, his process digitally is he paints over photos now, right? So, I mean, he doesn't hide that fact. I think in a lot of his tutorials, he basically takes a picture of his dog, and then
Yeah,
he
I mean,
turns
doesn't
the
David
dog.
Mack do that? And everyone seems to love him.
We try to not use names, but I think I already exposed. Yeah.
No, but it's like very obvious what he's doing. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like it's not like he's not lying about it.
But people, well, I don't know if he's not lying because he doesn't really. I mean, people still love. I don't know. Again, I don't understand why people love his work. Um, but here going back to the Ross Straw, so he's doing environments. This is just, again his. This is still his portfolio. Oh, this is a thing where it's an ad. So he's designing spaces. Um, he's really thought out this kind of whole world. So I think for a 17-year-old kid, this is very impressive, right?
Absolutely.
And
but
the amount of time that goes into this.
if you're painting over photos, if you took the photos yourself, isn't that sort of okay?
Well, when you say painting over, most of it is basically he'll take a picture of himself, and the entertainment factor is he'll change himself into this beautiful princess.
Yeah,
So it evolves so far that it's clearly drawing abilities come into play. But the one he
yeah,
got in trouble for, it looks like he did in about 10 minutes, and he just needed content really quick and found a model, picture of a model, and then kind of just put like almost like a filter over it almost, and then called that
Oh,
one.
they
It was
call it
it's
his
one out
own.
of 100 pieces he did that got him in trouble.
right. Yeah, he went on some stock image site, pulled off the picture, manipulated it, and then called it his own without giving proper credit to the original uh, photographer.
I mean, that's like what graphic designers do, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
No one seems to like give them a hard time, you know.
So I think this guy, I mean, again, 17-year-old Ross Tran, definitely had immense talent. Look at this. So, uh, what's worse?
it's worse.
What's worse? It's a subject.
Uh,
It's just food for thought. I mean, what do you think is worse, Sean?
I mean,
Yeah,
these guys are working hard.
Jerry.
They're just doing it in a different way. That's, you know, I don't really agree with it, but it's not like they're completely talentless hacks. They possess some skills.
Well, the first guy, the uh, the first guy, I don't know about. This guy.
Oh, your Subway artist?
No, not the Subway. I think the Subway guy, he's got some skill. I don't doubt that he has skill. A lot of painters. His new thing is painting on cans. The Subway guy. Um, uh, but again, the underdrawing's already done. You see the underdrawing on the can? Um,
He's drawing a person on the subway on a can. That's
yeah,
his
on
new,
a can.
that's his new thing.
That's his new
Wow.
gimmick. And he's painting. It's like, and he's using oils on the
I
Subway.
mean,
So
wouldn't you notice he's painting and then stop and talk to him about it before he finishes?
exactly. I mean, wouldn't you get into a fight? I mean, have you drawn people? I used to draw people on the Subway, and you have to do it quick because once
Yeah.
somebody notices that you're drawing them, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck? What you doing? You know, why are you looking? You know, give me that."
So,
You're gonna get in a fight.
If you ever ridden the subway in New York when it's in the city, the amount of time in between stops is 1.5 minutes.
Mhm.
So in a worst case scenario, that guy is off the train in 1.5 minutes.
Yep. Or he's moving, or there's someone standing in front of you. And it's also shaking. It's moving. So, anyways,
Well, it's clever, and he did think of this wacky thing, you know.
it is a nice gimmick, right? Credit where credit is due, but it's a little fake.
I think it's too fake.
I don't know. What's worse? Why are we working so hard?
We
You
should do
wanna-
gimmicks. Let's
You
do
can
gimmicks.
call him out.
We're doing
Hell,
videos.
I mean, I do barf bag art. I do like those running figures. Like, I'm the
Those
gimmick
aren't
king.
gimmicks, though. That's a different artistic outlet than this is. It's just fake. Like, you know, he's faking the time. Obviously, anybody who's done art can, you know, either the guy came on there and he hired him ahead of time to be like, you know, to be a model. And he's like, this is what I'm going to do. You be here at this time. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to hand over this thing. And then when he's on there, he could be kind of, you know, doing whatever, but the vast majority of the work has to be done elsewhere for kind of everything. And I don't know. That's just what I think's happening, which is fine. I think he's a decent artist, but it's you know, I don't think this whole process is truthful. Whereas like, you know, you can choose to express your art in different ways. You have the running person, you have this, but that's all your art. It's not Photoshop. I mean, it's not like AI. It's not faked.
Okay, I'm getting my blood boiling.
You want to expose him and be known for exposing him.
I don't know. You know, I don't. You know, look, exposing him. He's got a gimmick, right? But it's like and then I saw an article where there was an art critic that was criticizing this piece right now that I'm showing of this group of people on the subway, and he got all like hussy over it.
I mean, he still painted it, right?
He still painted it, yeah. I mean, there's a painting. No, this one he did in his home.
Yeah,
He
but
set
that's
up a
fine.
canvas on the train.
I mean, there's video documentation of him painting it. I mean, he's projecting everything onto the canvas and then he's painting over it. So it's not like you know what we're doing. We're using our hand to draw everything from scratch. He's taking a photo, projecting it, and then tracing it, and then painting on top.
But I think a lot of people do that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
right, and it's a very
Drusen does
common.
that. Yeah.
It's a very common practice in painting, portraitures, and what's worse.
It's a great end product, though.
I don't think this isn't bad because he's not saying, "Hey, I did this, you know, within this time. I did this, you know, I bust out these oil paints on the street, and you know, he did this at his house, and it's like that's fine." But where people are following him, being like, "Oh, this is amazing," is because they're, you know, they think that this whole, you know, art transaction is happening within like 4 minutes on the subway, and these people are, you know, blown away.
If he wants to prove he's any good, he should just get other artists to join him on the subway.
Right? He's not.
That would be the easiest way to show.
This one's hilarious. Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Do you see it? Look at this one. This one's hilarious. Okay, look at the
What is
pencil
doing?
drawing.
What-
Right? What do you notice on the pencil drawing?
I don't know.
Right.
What?
And then let's look at her.
It doesn't really. Does it look like her?
No, it looks like her, but do you see the major difference?
Oh, her hair is going the
What?
wrong way.
Yeah.
What?
Holy
Because this
cow!
girl
Really?
sent him a photo using her phone because
Yeah.
it's reversed. She's using the front camera, and then she took a picture and then sent it to him, and then he projected it, traced it, and then now he's drawing from a reverse. Look at that.
These are paid actors.
Oh, I mean, they're all paid actors. Yes,
Yeah.
they're all paid actors. But
Well, but that was kind of sloppy because he should know better than to do that because that's like a very simple, stupid mistake.
exactly. I mean, all you gotta do is if you have, just draw the hair the other way, right? But he's so
Well, he didn't
beholden.
know he got a selfie,
Right.
and then she showed
No,
up
but
like
she's
this.
sitting. Look, she's sitting right there. You see her hand at the top of the screen. She's sitting right there in front of him while he's drawing this.
So no one in the comments mentioned that her part is on the
No,
wrong side.
No, I'm
no.
sure they do, but I think he
Oh,
probably
he
deletes them.
erases it. Yeah.
Yeah, he deletes them. People like this just delete it immediately and just make sure nobody keeps it going.
But you see, like the basic structure of the face is already there, and then he's just kind of shading it in. So why are we working so hard?
Well, no one says you have to. I think someone was saying Scotty Young in interviews was saying that the worst job for us to do is actually doing the interior of a comic, especially now because we know it's low pay and we know it's tremendous long hours. So unless you love the art form, there's no reason to be doing comics for a living. So you switch to covers. Like Scotty Young doesn't really do interiors that much.
But you can make tens of dollars.
So if you love the art form, then do the interiors. But
He's also missing the nose ring on the girl. I mean, she's sitting right in
that's what I
front of him.
noticed. How do you not have that?
Well, maybe he'll add it at the end.
Hopefully on the
Let's
right
bet.
side.
Let's bet. $5. He doesn't add it in the end
No,
because
he'll
he's
put
so
it in.
beholden to the original material.
So he probably only knows her from online, so she sent a photo, and then they're gonna meet on a certain day.
Yep.
And didn't anticipate that it was a flipped photo because of the selfie mode.
Yeah, but even if it's a flip photo, you can
thinking.
still just flip the hair. It's just hair. You're not like eyes or nose.
But if he would have known, he could have just flipped the photo on his phone. You can do that easily.
But he didn't
Jerry
know.
won. He got the nose ring in.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not hard. That's
Oh,
easy.
that changed. That face changed. That face. That was a very immediate transition to a different photo. Like
that photo was like studio lighting.
Yeah.
Well, bathroom lighting probably, but who knows?
Yeah.
We're working too hard. Let's go be strippers.
Or am I just jealous?
You're a little jealous.
I don't think
Should
you're
do
jealous.
a parody video and do like a really elaborate oil painting and do it ahead of time, and then take it on the train and pretend like you just.
Bernardo, I'll do it. No.
I should do
I'll come up to LA.
like
We're doing it in
scribbling.
LA. LA.
So you're like drawing because it's shaking all over the place.
Bernard, I'm gonna join you in this. You'll pretend you're drawing me, and then you can make me like Asian, and it'll be like a big joke.
And then I should sign just like him. Well, I was gonna ask, what is this tattoo on the side of his face?
Oh, the Chinese characters.
Yeah.
What does it say?
I can't go back.
What does it say? Authenticity and honesty.
Yeah, something like that. Well, he's trying to keep smiling. Look at this. I mean, the hair is the other way. I mean, come on,
dude. What?
Come on. Why? I wouldn't even post this.
Hell no.
Is he like trying to show that he can draw reverse?
He should have honestly, and if he really was better at faking this, he should have definitely told her to change her part. Because that's.
Yeah, but he could have just drawn the hair the other way, though. That's the whole thing. It's like it's not that difficult.
But
It's
he
just
didn't.
hair.
This is all like this is all pre-done.
I think
So
I'm
he.
jealous. I think I'm jealous. A little jealous.
Yeah, I
I
read
know
an
you,
article about
Bernard.
him a long
You're a
time.
little jealous.
He
I'm gonna
makes a
be.
phenomenal amount of money with endorsements.
I'm staying up all night working on shit, and this guy's just cruising. I need a publicist.
Strippers,
Well, I mean,
Bernard. Strippers.
there was a time like I remember when I just got into Valiant, I didn't really care that I got into Valiant because I wouldn't be happy until I got into Marvel, and my goal in life was to get into Marvel, and it was a tremendous amount of work. So in the end, I got there. For a little while, I was an A-list artist at Marvel. I'm not really sure what that means now, but the thing is, I think you love being a Marvel artist more than you love being phenomenally successful and rich.
Aww.
I don't know.
Touching words that sometimes
make any
pay the
sense?
bills.
Wouldn't we rather just be rich?
And this is another topic. X-Men is relaunching. There's not much fanfare about it after the big announcement at South by Southwest, and there's kind of like a thing going around the internet about the number of writers who were asked to do this and turned it down.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, being asked to write the X-Men? You're like, I got something better going here, so I'll pass.
Well, who turned it down? Have they come forward?
There is an unofficial list that can't be verified, but so it's all kind of rumors. But there's
Good. Then I turned it down too.
Yeah, but I'm sure not one artist turned it down though.
I said I was busy that day.
Well,
so the thing is that lure of working for Marvel is not the same as it was 20 years ago.
I'm sure the pay is it's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. And then also with the X-Men, I think what they did with it in the past with the Krakoan era, it was problematic because they were really seen as heroes. They were kind of very morally ambiguous, and so a lot of writers didn't know what to do with it after that.
I'm just curious, like Carson McKinney, what is the atmosphere at an art university, prestigious art university like SCAD? Who that Spawn guy supposedly taught at also, or went to. Actually, that guy went to SCAD. What's the thinking? Like why pay $80,000 a year when you can just get a? How much do computers cost these days? Well, get a projector, I mean, you still have to learn how to use oil paint. You still have to know how to clean your brushes. There's techniques to mixing color. There is a skill, but there's a showmanship, I think, that we're missing. And can we learn from this?
I mean, I'll say this about that Subway artist guy. He went to art school, correct? And he tried his hand at being. He actually tried to get actual work, but couldn't. So he was pretty crafty enough to figure out other ways to get paid. There is a hustle to what he did.
Right.
You have to appreciate that hustle, and
absolutely.
I'm not saying he's a talented artist. I'm not saying he's bad either, but I'm saying he was able to put his mind to it and figure out, like, I'm going to do this and people are going to like it.
He knew the importance of building a narrative around the finished piece so that there's a story. and that story is makes it's like a force multiplier. So you don't end up with just a finished piece. Now there's a story that people can get behind. So if it's a performance, then great job. It's just that what happens when you get exposed.
Mhm.
I mean, he'll already have how many, million in the bank?
Well, like most people don't know, right? So you saw all those people walking up to him on the street, like taking pictures with him. So they don't know. They just think that's. I'm assuming that that's the general public thinks that, oh, he's drawing it from scratch, which is exceptional. He went to FIT, by the way. So look, there's skill, but I'm just asking questions like, what's worse, like the AI guy that did AI from scratch, the AI guy that used AI midway through the drawing, or someone like this that just completely projects, draws. He's at a point where he's not even looking at the stuff that he's not even looking at her. Her hair was parted the other way. He's not even looking at her while he's drawing. What's worse? Or is it there's no worse.
I think they're
It's
both bad.
all
And I think there's always going to be a way people kind of cheat around, whatever they do in a way. I'm not saying that. I think that guy who, did the portraits on the street is definitely, I don't know, more talented. That first guy that you were showing that looked very AI, all his art looked very different, it like reeked of AI all over the
That guy's
place.
just a graphic designer.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just being more honest about, and that's fine. If he shouldn't lie about it, because I think it's just, a lot of people just you can see it, it's just, you can see it when it's, in the hands in so many different ways. It's definitely not perfect. So, but is that guy really going to, I think those kind of people are going to start disappearing in the end. Maybe not the guy who's doing the portraits on, but I don't know. Like
Well,
like you
Bernard,
said,
let me ask you a question about it. Do you think those guys, when they see you, all king aside, are they like, damn, I wish I could do that? I want to draw,
Mm,
whatever, Batman Beyond, just once. I just want to draw him once, because I actually
don't
think
know.
they are.
I think they are.
I don't know. I don't know about like also. I don't think Devin would be the last guy.
I bet you he does.
Mm, I think he's pretty content. I mean, at a point where he's not even looking at the subject that he's drawing. I think he's already like transcended. Um,
Well, he's got a lot of pressure to pump out content, right?
Yeah, he's a content creator, but I think that's it. And is it appealing to other people? Yeah.
I'm not asking if it's appealing to other people. I'm asking you, do you think he sweats guys that can actually draw?
mm, I don't know.
Look,
I
he's
think so.
perfectly content
Yeah.
sitting there making $1 million a year, fucking tracing photos, and that's look, good for him. He figured it out. He cracked the code.
The I think the Spawn guy does,
The Spawn guy is just a graphic designer.
right?
That's what graphic designers do. That's why I was successful at graphic design, because I was able to draw. Other graphic designers can't, so they trace.
How? But is there? Because look, we are in the very early stages of AI art, and in a year from now, at the end of the year, if we right now we're at episode 175. Let's say we get to like 200. How many more weeks are left in the year? Like 30 more weeks?
Ask you, Jimbo.
35? Jimbo, I'm bad at math. 35 more weeks, so we get to like 30 more episodes. We're at 200 something. AI art will be like probably very different, much more advanced. Here's another thing that I saw. Everybody says that AI art has difficulty doing fingers. I think it also has difficulty doing teeth.
Hmm.
Placing the teeth, the different incisors versus the canine versus the molars. It has
Well, you just
difficulty.
get guys to actually go in there and draw that. Then
That's
Yeah,
what they
so
do. They hire artists
well,
that do exactly that.
I mean, but the computer itself, the computer programming or the AI, it'll improve. It'll self-improve, and
Yeah.
it'll recognize that. So by the end of the year, there won't be any of those flaws. Because there's stuff that you look at now, I'm like, oh wow, this is really nice, and then you're like, oh, is this AI or is it not? AI is a divisive topic at SCAD, and it's always a constant reminder to every student that their work could be plugged into a program or they could be put out of work. The sequential art department absolutely loathes AI, but other people think that AI is a useful resource and that it shouldn't be used for everything, and that it cuts costs, so it's a big issue. Yeah, I mean, I think like, look, if there was an AI program that I could feed all of my artwork into, and then it would generate like an AI Bernard piece or pieces or books, is that okay?
I think it is because it's technically your work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Right?
But
also
it's not the
you're
best of
also
your work,
generating
though.
it.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? What was that, Sean?
Well, when you tell a story, like you more than anyone knows, like when you tell a story, like there's a panel there, and what you put inside that panel may look like something you just like threw up because that's what happens in the scene. But for us, it's like, what exactly do you get in there? Like if you can get the elbow, what does it mean when you put, um, like a different lens on it where the depth of field changes? Like those are like hundreds of decisions you're making on the fly, and you have a reason for all of it. I don't think AI can make those decisions. So it'll make a comic that's readable, but it's not going to be the same experience as if you just did it
No, but you can just,
entirely your
once you
own.
go in and you can say, look, I've drawn this. All right, I type in bigger fro, bigger hair. Poof. 1 second, it's there. Extend the arms out, more muscle. Poof. You make his arm bigger.
All right. So you
You
do
can
have to
actually
be
kind of
on
do that.
top of it all. Yeah.
You can do that in Photoshop right now. So
I think it's
Does
having the amount of art, and you do because you have decades of art. So it's really that's what a lot of things people are missing because you have kind of like it's basically like cramming all of your art into giving the AI ideas. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. But you can probably go in there and change those things even by hand. And it's technically your art. It's your art style. So that's the only way I was convinced that AI can be used, by artists for their own art. But that's just my opinion on it.
and if the comic book reading public or collecting public knows that you use AI for it, would they support it in the same way as the comics you draw now?
what was it?
I
2
mean, they're
years?
supporting all these artists that are tracing on tablets.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a good number of them who are like, oh, they're gonna nope out, but then the general comic reading public won't care.
But
Right.
if it's a well done AI with all of Bernard's art, it's not going to look different, and nobody would be able to tell because it's not. You don't have those different influences that you see in AI where things start looking really airbrushed and things like that. So it's supposed to be only his art, like just crammed in with only influences from that. So I mean, I don't know. I don't see why not.
Jealousy reigns supreme on this stream today.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you're involved in this art form that takes a tremendous amount of time and is well known for paying very little, and that's just part of it. That's just the
If
reality.
if
I think
I
people
if
make
I
money
cannot,
from social media though. They don't really make money necessarily like from their art in a way. You know what? They just became like characters themselves.
well, like, look, there's an integrity aspect But then there's an aspect like, look, I got like mouths to feed. I got to put a roof over my head, and I'm working these number of hours to get. I mean, Bernie Sanders is talking about trying to push a 32-hour work week, right, for the average American. So, what is that? I didn't read fully into it, but maybe you guys can fill me in, or you, Jimbo. I'm assuming it's you make the same amount, but instead of 40 hours a week, it's 32. So you basically work 4 days a week. That's
It's
what he's
probably
proposing.
for the larger corporations. It's usually like those kind of things go not for like necessarily small businesses, but larger corporations. But
Yeah,
in your
if you're
job,
if
Well,
you're
isn't
of
like
it
a
course.
like
salary,
It's not like the pizza shop is going to close early because, oh, hey,
no,
look, guys, we already worked 32 hours,
yeah,
no, right.
it's
But
only
like if you're
for
gonna,
giant
so if you have an
corporations.
office job, if you're working at a bank or a corporation, uh, or the salary that you make, instead of going in 5 days a week, you're only going in 4 days a week, but you're making the same amount.
A lot of
Um,
companies already do that though. Sony does that. My other girlfriend, they're called like mental health days apparently, but they have off every other Friday.
And
So
what
working
is
from
that?
home too.
Yeah, but work from home. Well, work from home, you still have to work technically,
yeah,
right?
this isn't
What
work
I'm
from
talking
home.
about,
This is
yeah,
a
this is not work.
completely day off.
Yeah,
This is no work. It's
uh,
way high on because he works for a large corporation in San Diego, and I'd almost bet that he has at least one or two Fridays off within
But yeah,
a
but that's
month.
1 or 2 Fridays off isn't 32 hours a week. That's just 1 or 2 Fridays off. Um,
No, that's
like
an
if your regular work week is only 32 hours,
Well,
uh,
the point
that's
is,
one
comic
less
book
day.
artists.
yeah.
I mean, I work like 14-hour days and on this soccer comic, and I just know it's a terrible way to make a living. So you do it because you're a storyteller and you're a fan of the art form. Um, and then the thing is, you have one of the higher page rates in the business too, and it's still not enough for what you do.
there's people that make more than me.
Well, there always
Um,
is.
but
I
again, like, look,
mean,
I'm not against the 32-hour work week. I'm actually, great. I think that's great. Um, but in terms of our career or our path trajectory,
Well, as
um,
a freelancer, you kind of chose this path, though, right? You
yeah,
can work
right.
32 hours a week if you want to
Mhm.
go work at Disney.
In
If,
tech.
if Disney's going to do that, I don't know.
or if you want to work less and or choose a project that would take less time.
Yeah,
And
like
do
drawing
covers.
portraits on the subway.
Just do covers.
That
This has
only takes
become
4 minutes max. Perfect.
this has become a complaining session now.
I say go draw
No,
some portraits on the subway.
I'm I'm I'm,
it's a
I'm
I
big
don't
issue
complaining.
know.
though.
I'm all for companies. I mean, I think having a 4-day work week is shown now to be as or more productive as 5-day work weeks. So I think that's why they're really pushing it because Japan is actually moving kind of towards that way with certain companies. So uh, also, like, you know what, fuck these large corporations. They don't just fuck them. That's all I gotta say. But it's like, I mean, you still have nurses and doctors that have to work 12-hour shifts. Like, you're still gonna have a lot of people who are gonna be, not part of this. I'd be more worried about that. I'm worried about the nurse that's gonna be like help us in the hospital when they're exhausted after working 4 days in a row and 12-hour shifts. Like,
Hmm.
So
that should
why do they
change.
work so much?
It's
Is it
just
because they
it's
have
just
a
what
rarefied
they
skill?
I think it's kind of like hospital hours. They work 4 days on, 4 days off, but they just cram those hours in, and I think it's because a lot of the people that are brought into the hospital, like uh, through the ER, through like the ICU, they just have less people, covering them at the time. So it'll be 2 people instead of, let's say, 4 people. So less time. They think less time for error, but that should really change when it comes to nursing and medical, because people get exhausted and then errors occur and stuff like that. So I don't know, but stuff like that won't change. But do I care that Sony's getting less work? Nah, I don't really care that much.
I'm sounding like a
should do
like a
what Sean
whiner.
Gordon Murphy does. I mean, even though he gets 10 grand per commission drawing, some of that stuff he turns into those stupid collecting cars and stuff, which is his toys and stuff. But he does buy real estate with that, so that assuming that one day he can't do all that work anymore, or that his style is not popular anymore, he doesn't have to work anymore because his real estate investments are continuing to pay him while he's just doodling, trying to sell his artwork that may have gotten old or something. So it's just a way to insure against, it's truly passive income.
Yeah.
So what we have now is the opposite of passive.
In other industries, a lot of people who, like sports industries, a lot of people kind of phase out of being an athlete. They go on to certain management. They go on to other things. I don't know how often that happens. Like, I don't know. Do you know any Marvel VPs that were once artists other than Jim?
Okasada?
I think is. So that's one other one, but I mean, does that happen really often? Because a lot of these athletes are like, well, once I phase out, I'm going to go work. Maybe I'll do something for Nike. Maybe I'll do something for, I'll still, by that time they have a shit ton of money. But
yeah, I'm going to buy a franchise of McDonald's.
You can have all the Frosties that you want, Bernard.
If I franchise a McDonald's, everybody on stream that's a VIP gets free cones, ice cream cones.
I'm telling you, man, you'd be the ideal person for the forensic art process analyst.
Yeah, I really think I should. How do I get into that?
Well, it doesn't exist yet, but I'm sure it's going to be big.
You should make it. Make a school, and I put
make
that
a business card. There you go.
Make a school, so then you can teach people, and then you have students, and then you'll be the teacher, the all-knowing one.
Bernard, I think you should just combat it by quote unquote drawing your comic pages on the subway. just like do it 99% and then just do 1 or 2 steps and be like, look, I finished it on the subway.
You should do an oil painting on the train and have someone sitting there who looks just like Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And then claim to have done it on the train and that she's a stranger.
But what if you actually did draw your comic pages on the subway?
I used to do that. I took the train in from Brooklyn to Marvel offices, and I was always late, so I would draw on the train. And it gives you a pounding headache, and
I'd get sick.
And the train moves too much. It moves way too much.
Right?
And,
yes. It's not stable. Even you try to write something on the train, and it's look at this guy. He's trying to.
Oh, he's so cute. He wants to play.
You draw a black oil sesame seed or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting aggressive. He doesn't like that stroke. You know what's funny is his claw is on the screen, so it's affecting me being able to select colors.
Oh, he's so cute.
He obviously thinks I'm being jealous. All right. Ghost in the Shell or...
Oh, are you going to draw tonight?
Fateful Loco. I've complained for an hour and 45 minutes.
I'm literally finishing my Ghost in the Shell right now.
Well, I had the this was the what's her name? Madeline Pryor, Goblin Queen. But I redrew it. I redrew the pose.
Hubba.
Let me finish this. We have a Ghost in the Shell. Butthead. All right. Let me finish this piece. Then we can get out of here. Anybody? Oh, Simple Man has a comic that we kind of wanted to go. I said maybe we're going to go over some of that stuff.
Dr. Midnight too. So, but
Dr. Midnight.
Mm.
I don't know if Dr. Midnight is open to us doing it on stream.
okay.
So I started typing up like a thing where I was drawing on some of his pages. I'm only going to be able to do like a little bit of that, but I don't want to do that on stream. So Simple Man has said he is open to kind of going over
Are you doing
some
that
of this
now or
story.
later?
Well, what do you guys want to do? We got the sketch battle. Oh, I want to try a new game too. So the new game is
boy.
like telephone, but art with art. So, like you would
Is that
describe a character, similar to our sketch battle right now. You would describe a character. I don't know what character you're describing, and then we would have people. So, like, let's say if you're going to say Batman, but you wouldn't say Batman, right? You would say it's almost like telephone and what's the other one that Pictionary, right? And so let's say Sean's or Jerry's character is Batman. So he would say he has a mask, he has long ears, he has a pointy nose, and then myself and some other people would be drawing this. Does that make any sense? Does that sound
Did you
fun?
see this somewhere, or did you make this up?
I'm making this up. This is based off of our
That could
conversation.
be problematic.
You think it's problematic?
You never know how things are going to go. When
Well,
you
that's the whole
it's
thing.
like make up a joke. You don't make up jokes. You tell jokes you've heard.
Well, I mean, that's where we're workshopping it here.
I mean, Devin draws. He makes up full portraits on the subway.
Yeah.
You can't do this. Come on, guys.
I mean, let's try that. Let's try that, and then.
I'm gonna
and then
use
we'll do
Devin to motivate Bernard into doing anything and
Yeah,
everything.
it'll work.
All I can think about is that
Devin
guy's
can
just
do it.
That guy's relaxing in his, his mansion somewhere.
Yeah, I think
I gotta go
Bernard,
wash my brushes. I'll be back in a few minutes.
I think you just need a gimmick, Bernard. Like I know, like we had similar Instagram following, but I think the difference is I started just doing these gimmicks, and the gimmicks people kind of just want to see the next iteration of the gimmick, and they'll follow. So I do the barf bag art and those running paper things. I haven't even done that many of them, like under a dozen of the barf bags, and then only like 3 or 4 running figures. But you can start seeing that the counter, the popularity counter on Instagram start flipping and going. So
Yeah, I'm losing followers every week.
If you draw great comic book art, the problem with that is that's a common thing, because there's a lot of comic book artists that are just kind of doing that. But if you have like one thing that you do, like do it on the subway, it's like a gimmick that I don't know. It for some reason people follow things like that if they know what to expect.
I got a gimmick. I'm gonna do like a rough sketch, and then I have Butthead fly over it and poop on it, and then poof, it turns into like a finished drawing.
I like it.
You can make your bird poop on command.
Well, that would be like I'd have to have him. I'd have to film him to poop once, and then just reuse that clip. It would be, like those 70s and 80s TV show where they use the same clip every time for something.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like in Battlestar Galactica when the Vipers would come. I mean, they shot that for the first pilot movie, and then they reused that for the entire 2 seasons that they were on. Every time the Viper pilots would come on, it would be the same footage from the original. So
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure, why not?
When you guys finish a drawing and it just kind of sucks, but if it's for something like, say, oh, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell, do you feel like you have to post it?
No.
No, I didn't post the drawings from last week.
You know what's funny?
They were just horrible.
If there's anything I learned from Bernard in this whole thing is it's
Oh, hey, you got a
okay
raid,
to
Bernard.
it's okay
Ooh,
to
got a raid.
erase everything and start all over, and I've done that, and I've been much happier. So,
Okay.
and that's. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm so used to like powering through. Like, no, I'm gonna make this happen, and just.
What is up, Sway Art? Thank you for the
Thank you,
raid.
Swayar, for the raid. What's up, Swayar? How's it going? Hello, good to see you.
Welcome to the
stream.
negativity stream.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
we're
exposing
positive
some
here.
We're bitching and moaning about art, careers
Yeah.
in art.
careers in
Um,
art, AI.
I,
We need a gimmick.
I think a good gimmick for you, this would be great. Like, I'm not sure if this exists, but if there's something that erases lines, and since you're a really fast artist, that you'd have to do the drawing and finish it before and beat the thing that's trying to erase it. You know?
Oh.
I don't know. I
What do
mean,
you mean? I don't know. What do you mean? I don't get it.
I guess it doesn't exist. But I mean, if you were drawing on digitally, that you'd be doing a drawing, and then you have a program that would
Oh,
slowly erase lines at random, and then you have to try to finish the drawing before the thing draw it faster than the thing that can
well,
erase
that's
it.
just like me drinking a whole thing of
Drunk drawing. Yeah, there you go.
Dukalax. No, when I had to like get a colonoscopy and I had to drink that that liquid that makes you go poop, and I had to finish
Okay.
the drawing before the poop came out.
Now, so can you drink that once a week? Is that safe?
Well, it'd be a good diuretic, I think. I might lose some weight. Hey, that might be a good
No,
like.
no, don't no.
Huh?
We're not
But people would
encouraging your
tune in for
bad.
that.
I eat spoiled food, just hoping I get some diarrhea to lose some weight.
Bernard,
Hey,
that
guys,
doesn't
I'm
help
gonna
you
take
in the
off.
long
Sorry.
run.
I'll see you
All right,
guys
Jerry.
soon. Okay,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Bye,
Happy
Jerry.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Post your picture.
Tough break with the drawing.
Bernard, no. You cannot
Huh?
do that. That's not no more yo-yo dieting for you in weird barfing diarrhea ways.
Dukalex.
No.
What was it?
Okay.
Dukalex? Mucinex? Not Mucinex. Dukalex?
Mucinex is to get rid of
Is it
mucus.
that stuff you do before colonoscopy? Like drink a gallon of that and then start a drawing, and
Yeah.
then try to finish it before you explode all over the place.
You could do that one time.
I was also thinking, I haven't done it in a couple of years, so it'd be okay to do it now.
But you
I was thinking,
can't just do it once though. It's got to be like a weekly thing, because then that's how
every
you
week.
build momentum.
Oh, there's a dietary tea. Have you ever had that? Like they call it diet tea. This is Madeline. Yes, we are. Where you drink it and it makes you poop.
Yeah, it has like Seneca in it. It's like horrible. It's basically a stomach irritant. So your stomach just produces a bunch of stomach acid for you to pass everything. It's not good
Yeah.
in the long run. And also
No?
your stomach can become like not dependent on it, but it's not good. Stop messing with your body, Bernard. Damn.
You get rid of body hacking.
No, that's not body
You
hacking.
get rid of the good bacteria, right? That's no good?
Yeah, you
the
can.
biome. Yeah, you're crap out your biome.
No.
Yeah, that's not good.
All right, so what can you do?
I also have I have the original Armstrong Ale. So
that's
last time I drank
30 years old,
12
right?
Yeah, that's 30-year-old beer. Last time I drank 12-year-old beer. What about 30-year-old beer? How
No.
How much? How soon would that come into the? Is that good? 30-year-old beer? Would people watch that?
Bernard.
But then I become one of these gimmick guys.
You can be gimmicky in different funny ways. You have like a very deadpan like face, which works like really well. You can just
That's why, like, I can hold it in. You don't know if I have to poop until the very last second. I could
Maybe
just sit. I could
Chat
just
has
place
to
the bucket.
give him ideas that doesn't have to do with taking diuretics and almost shitting your pants.
Yeah. Anybody have any suggestions? All right, we're at the 2 hour mark. Let's do.
You're not gonna finish this drawing? I
No,
think this
I
drawing
won't
is
be
kind
able
of
to
cool.
finish it.
Kevin P. West says, try to make Bernard smile on streams.
Can you draw on top of like a hot plate, like a one of those electric griddles? Yeah. Then you wear like a asbestos glove and you draw, and then when the temperature gets really high, then the paper just like bursts into flames.
Oh my
okay.
God.
So yeah, that's like a time drawing, basically. Okay.
I'm starting to really understand you guys were roommates, and it was probably not good.
Sean has a dark side that you guys
He
just
has a
don't know
very
about.
dark side.
Yeah, when there was a time when I was like, I'm basically like a real chicken shit, but I love seeing people do shit. So I'll come up with these great ideas, and everyone will be like, "Oh yeah, we gotta do it," and then you all get in trouble. And then
Yeah,
after a while,
Sean
you kind
doesn't
of got
do it. He
angry.
just wants you to do it. He
He
doesn't
got
want to.
angry at me
I have a
because
friend
I
like
just
that.
come up with all these ideas.
Yeah. I have a girlfriend like that, and she's like, Courtney, go do this. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And I am completely manipulated by her. And I'm the one who gets in trouble, and she's the one just puppeteering me in the background. Evil. It's evil. Well, I think, emerging artists these days, they definitely encourage or, bring in elements of social media and things like that. One of the things I don't like, because I started just an art Instagram account, and I've been being fed more art accounts because of it. So there's a lot of people that are actually complaining a lot on there.
Wow.
On your art
About what?
Instagram account?
No, not on mine. Not on mine, but I see they're on their accounts, and also the threads. They'll go on to thread, like I'm not on threads, but it'll pitch, threads to me, and it'll be like, "Oh, I just hate like when I just work so hard on it and I get no likes on this and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "This is a whole new." I mean, I didn't follow. I follow a bunch of different shit on my normal account, so it's like I didn't see like this whole world of art, but I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people who complain on you.
Well, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, that's a little different. I mean, like, you don't go on like you're not going to post on Instagram like something sarcastic like, well, here's my professional X-Men cover. I wonder if I'm going to get less likes than some dude on the subway, like, or you could try that. See how it is. But
That's
people
an
would be
angle. We're trying different angles. I don't know if the booby angle is working.
I think it's not graphic enough. I think you have to go more graphic. Just really zone in on those nips.
Any other evil ideas, Sean?
But I mean, you really have to lean into the fact that you can actually draw from scratch very quickly, which is extremely rare skill. And I think there is something you can do to really make a show out of it,
Yeah, be proud to be like a 2-minute man. You should start calling yourself that. Be like, I'm a 2-minute man. Yeah. Just do sketches for 2 minutes. There you go. Boom. Well, most people think it's not about art. Yeah. Should you care that much? No, you shouldn't.
I remember
half
Dan
an hour.
Fraga used to draw with a watch.
Oh yeah.
On the screen, yeah, just to show you how fast he can draw. I think that was pretty cool.
Well, I was doing like 7-minute commissions at one point, 7 or 8-minute commissions at shows, where I'd have a timer, and then that's the drawing that you would get.
If you get like an hourglass that's on an inset screen and the sand's running through it and you have to finish it in time. So the thing is, when it's done, you have to remove it from the drawing board before someone hits it with a blowtorch.
Jeez, no, we're not burning ourselves over this. There's not
Yeah, I
gonna be
think
4th-degree burns on
Sean was a. Sean, when you were young, were you like a pyromaniac?
Yeah,
That's why
there's a
his
movie
parents.
about me called Omen.
Oh my god. His
Or
parents were
Carrie?
like, he is not going to be a doctor. He's the opposite of a doctor. He's trying to harm people. Good
Sean
lord.
Sean has a sister that's a forensic detective.
Really?
She looks
Oh,
at like
yeah.
dead bodies. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, she once sent me a cartoon character that was on a shirt, and the
Oh
shirt was all
no.
burnt and
Bloody.
all crusty with blood. And I was like, "Why are you sending me this? Can you identify this character?" And I was like, "No, I can't." But and then I didn't want to know exactly what happened to this child.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's how
sad.
morbid her job is.
Yeah, you have to be a really, really strong person to deal with that mentally. You see bad stuff that you don't even want to imagine. Is she in New York too?
She's in Fresno. She's the
Oh God.
The murder capital
lead
of the world.
Fresno's
the
terrible.
lead forensic professional. I mean, what is it, like the head of forensic medicine in Fresno?
And she looks exactly like Sean, like a twin.
Really?
Yeah. Just female. I told Sean, like, look, you can, your sister can stay with me. You don't have to worry about anything happening at all.
It's like twins.
Yeah, because it would be like making out with Sean.
Either that or you're like, well, this'll fit the bill because I've always wanted to do this.
Remember,
Golf Boy
you got
Sunday. Happy holidays.
you got a
Huh?
lap dance from that woman that looked like just like Kadir.
Oh no, it was Leland.
Leland, yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird because when she came over, I was like, "Oh, this girl looks like Leland," and then
Yeah.
Who is that?
It's an experience. I'm
Somebody's.
all for experiences. Once is cool.
If it becomes incestual, you mean, or that's all I
I
took
mean, if
from
you're doing it multiple times, then that's something. But once, hey, why not?
Actually, I think now that I'm remembering, Will's cousin is a forensic scientist in Fresno too, I think. I'm pretty
wow.
sure it's Fresno because he came to talk at Comic-Con last year or the year before. I'm kind of last year, I think. So he talked about he apparently did panels. So
At Comic-Con about
I
forensic.
think it's about like kind of the reality of certain. I kind of forget what he.
Sway art. Does Goblin Queen Madeline have pupils in her eyes?
You mean
And
eyeballs?
yeah, eyeballs. And Happy Holidays, Golf Boy.
Bernard, Simple Man wants me to ask you about John Barthel's assistant. What?
No, she was cool.
Is this somebody you met recently?
At
the last con? Oh.
Planet Comic-Con, yeah.
No, is this the Walking Dead guy?
Yeah, he was there. I didn't see him, but I flew in with his assistant.
Oh, that's what you.
John Bernthal, the Punisher guy.
But not technically not his assistant, but like she manages the talent. So, anybody live near Albuquerque,
New Mexico?
New Mexico? Has anybody? I'm just curious about a show there.
This is a commission you're doing at this size?
Yeah, this is it's since I was gonna mail out some art, and then it's been a while, and then I said, okay, let me do a commission for this
free
guy.
one?
Yeah, it's a free one. It's like,
look, man, you can't complain about getting paid less and then not charging. This is on you.
But the idea of like artistic ability and business have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you can do really well you can do much better as a mediocre artist if you just knew the business side. And I think I listened to Scotty Young. I mean, you know Scotty Young, right? I mean, one of the best business minds in comics. You can hear him talk for an hour on that Ink Pulp podcast, the most recent one.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and he goes on about just how he runs his business, and it's a very simple thing for him. He has this ability, and then people would ask him to do something, either CGC or in retailer incentive covers. He'll get asked to do that, and then he realizes that there are people who broker these deals, and then they take their cut and they take a lot of money. And then the one thing he asked himself was like, okay, did that person do something that I couldn't do myself? So the next time he takes over that, and then he reaches out to and just does all the outreach so that he keeps all the money himself, rather than having really expensive third parties come in.
Well, I was going to call you Sean because I was going to talk to you about Baltimore. If you're going to go do Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I probably would. Like, I don't know. I might go down there again with Bella Racklin.
So where was your table last time then? Did you share a table with her? Or...
Yeah.
And that was a table that she got from the show, or that you guys got together?
No, I got it, and then I split it with her.
Oh, okay. Because I was offered a table, but there's somebody at the same table that I don't like.
Oh,
You don't like?
Let's see. I think most people
you don't like them either.
They're in alphabetical order.
What? The tables? What are you talking about? Alphabetical order?
I think a lot of the artists are in alphabetical order.
Oh, they placed them in alphabetical order on the show floor?
Yeah, so this person you don't like is probably Asian, right?
No. This no, because I'm not sitting at the artist. It's an artist alley, but it's at someone's hosting me.
Oh, okay.
So I would be there as a guest of this organization. So they have a bunch of other creators sitting with them.
Who is this?
If that makes sense.
Who is this?
And then I was thinking, yeah, okay. But then I was like, they gave me the list of people that were already kind of going. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, okay.
Bernard.
Huh?
You can keep on hating people, but you shouldn't let it affect like your livelihood like this. Like you can
Yeah, but you gotta sit.
them.
You're gonna sit next to somebody that you can't stand for like 3 days.
Well,
baby boy, that's corporate life. Hello, are you kidding me? That's everybody's life, is dealing with people that they do not want to deal with.
Yeah, maybe I'm just spoiled, but if you had an option of not dealing with them.
If you have an option, yeah, but if you're invited,
so I'm exploring the option right now. I'm asking Sean.
Okay.
Plus, I thought you patched things up with Lanilio.
Oh yeah.
If I go, like those tables, the booths are really big. So
yeah, they're big.
Yeah, I mean, so if you want it, I just don't know if Bella Racklin is going. She's in Israel, so I don't know if she's going to even go. But as a safety, I mean, you can just leave that table and just. I mean, do you have to actually physically be there for them at that table?
Yeah, well, I was going to reach out to the show itself to see if they could, cover my travel.
Yeah, they'll give you a table.
No, not just the table. I'm asking for airfare.
Oh, okay.
Hotel. So they've done that before. They've done that before in the past. What? Go ahead. What are you saying?
Do you want to do that thing where you fly here and we drive down, or you just fly directly to Baltimore?
I mean, you can do both. Is your car gonna be able to make it? I mean, I feel like every time I step into the tank, it's gonna like,
He'll take his motorcycle.
yeah, it's gonna be like Tommy Lee Edwards driving his
The
van droid, and then the wheel flying off at 65 miles per hour on the highway.
Did that happen?
I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, no, he picked up this old time like van, and as he was driving home back down North Carolina, a front wheel like flew off,
Hmm.
and he was saying he was like driving and sparks were coming up. Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to get a hotel and then stay overnight. Stay over like a couple of nights, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard from Tommy?
Not recently. I know he's busy working on
the Gotcha Man.
Gotcha Man.
Gotcha Man and the NFT. Oh, so I was gonna say. Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna say. So like, AI art is now like the NFT of the right. Remember, like a few years ago, NFTs were like, oh, you can't do any NFTs because then you're gonna feel the wrath.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. If you train an AI model to draw just like you can just sit back and collect money with in this sort of like pseudo passive income thing. But the problem is like, will people buy it? Because in that case, you want people to accept AI, but some people will just say like, no, there's just no way I would support it. I want to see something you drew with your own hand.
Right. They don't need to know.
Yeah, so you'd have to keep it on the down low.
I have to keep it on the down low.
But then I will tattle.
What if, John would be like, all right, drink this 30-year-old beer, or I'm gonna. Okay, what if I had a studio and I had like young artists working for me that were drawing backgrounds or.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and then I sign my name. Then I sign my name on it.
You're right. See?
Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just asking. I'm asking. Is that okay?
Well, there's two groups. There's like, well, like all of those things we talk about in comics about woke or whatever, and all the stuff going behind the scenes. Most of the people that go see movies don't know any of that stuff. They just go see the movie, and then if you tell them like, oh, you shouldn't watch that movie because of such and such reason, they're like, okay, that's for you, but I just want to see this movie. So most people won't care, but then the people who care would try to get everyone to stop buying your thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of is that cancel culture? Is that social justice warrior?
But in the end, it's a very vocal minority, and it's not really going to affect your business. Just like that guy on the subway knows that he knows people know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if he knows. I don't think he knows. You think he knows?
I mean, I always, I met someone who went to school with him and said that he's a fake. So he knows that there are people out there like the haters, but that's a very small percentage, and they can scream all they want, and so you're screaming into a void because he's beloved and he's fine. Yeah.
Why? Why?
Well,
this is turning into the complaint channel. We should rename this instead of sketch fighters, sketch complainers.
Yeah, well, you can build an entire channel on complaining about the comic book industry, and you'll do very well.
Wow, this isn't really Is this complaining about the comic book industry, or this is? By the way, number one comic book creator, number one comic complainer, comic book industry complainer. Did you see his latest trailer video?
No. Who is this person you're talking about?
Hilarious.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
Hilarious. Somebody came out with a trailer video for their newest comic book campaign, featuring a particular superheroine. I actually know one of the actors in the video, which is kind of funny. I don't know if he knows what he's getting himself into. It was just horrible. It was like 5 minutes long. I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to waste people's time.
With Dr. Midnight's
Dr.
here.
Midnight. Hey, what's up, Dr. Midnight? We were just talking about Dr. Midnight. Thank you. Resub 25 months with Prime. Thank you, Dr. Midnight. Yeah, we were just talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know. Oh,
Me neither.
he was a huge thorn in my side when Children of the Atom came out. Anyways, he has a new video trailer. Does your Jimbo know? All right. What do you think of this? Figure our arm out. This one's much better than last week's, right? I feel the pose is a little bit.
Oh, she's got another arm up?
Yeah, why not? What's the other arm doing? It's got both arms up.
That's cool anatomy.
This torso, I really like this torso. Although, let me erase a little bit of this. I don't think we're going to do the sketch battle today.
Oh, yeah, there's no time.
Yeah, I'm just going to finish this drawing, then we're going to get out of here. So
I was going to
sorry
suggest that you draw a leprechaun for a sketch battle.
Was there anybody that wanted to get in on the sketch battle sparring today?
James Quo already claimed his victory, so
Yeah, James got 2 weeks in a row, so
he claimed this week too. He's like, well, I would have won, so.
Does she have a tattered cape?
she has a tattered, like, yeah.
That's cool.
So, then this hand, I didn't really draw this hand in. So.
Is this something that you can give to an inker? Because there seems to be like some gray tones and graphite going on.
Yeah, no, this is not going to go to an inker. This is just a pure pencil sketch for someone that bought a piece of artwork and haven't sent it out yet. And,
So it's a freebie.
yes.
Did you start your cards yet? Your Fleer, or was it Upper Deck cards?
No, you got them in the mail already? I got to email the guy.
Yeah, they're slow.
You already got yours?
Yeah, but aren't they due in April next month?
No, I think the ones that I'm getting, I'm not supposed to get them until May.
Okay.
Oh, they are?
No,
let me check.
Mine's due in April.
Oh,
but you're working on different.
When did you get him? When did you get him?
Mine is Spider-Man. So.
Sean's talking about sketch cards. Can you talk about it or no?
I don't know, but I mean, they just asked if you do want to do cards, and I said yes, and then they try to get you to commit to as many as possible, and pay some.
How many did you commit to?
Oh, not much. It wasn't a big payday for me. So, but what I didn't know is that you and Eric Grove, you negotiated your rate. So
I asked for a little bit more money. You're not gonna get it if you don't ask.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And I think more APs. So, all right, I think I'm done with this. I mean, what does Sway Art think? Because Sway Art seems to know a little bit about Madeline Pryor and the Goblin
Well,
Queen.
if Sway Art, if he rated you, that means his stream is over, right? So then
Yeah.
you'll hang out here for another hour or
He
something.
says he's taking a break.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I gotta get out of here. I'm not sure if we're gonna stream next week. Something might come up. I gotta check my schedule. All right. Any other comments before we get out of here? This has been a very complaining stream. All right, let me fix the highlights on here.
Are you okay, Bernard?
Did you deliberately smear stuff?
Yeah, I cheated. Usually, I tell people don't deliberately smear, but I just cheated.
So you smear it so that everything gets grayed down, and then you can take an eraser and pop out some highlights.
Yes.
Oh, look at that eraser thing.
Boobies.
Did you
I
get
think
that at
the-
Janoff's?
I think
This
the
is yes, Janoff's.
I think the video froze. Is it
Mm,
frozen for
really?
you?
Not for me.
I see the timer go, but it looks like the picture froze. Maybe it's just me. That's
Are
weird.
you on the Fletch Too Fond internet plan?
I didn't think so. That's a hard one to get. Oh, it's an error occurred and it bumped me off. Maybe it's just me.
Janoff's sponsored equipment, our
Yeah, what's
supplies.
that? Remember Janoff had that that jingle that we were supposed to say? Something about like if you're trying to ink curvy dots, but they look more like menstruation spots, get new brushes at Janoff's.
What?
Sean, you're alone. I'm not repeating that.
If you're trying to ink curvy dots, but they look more like menstruation spots, get new brushes at Janoff's. Janoff Stationery. Say Bernard sent you.
110 and Broadway, New York
110
City.
Broadway.
And if you sing the jingle, you get an extra. How much off?
Yeah, you swing it to Jerry and then tell him Bernard sent you.
Man, I just made a mistake and I wanted to double tap.
Oh.
Does Swayard ever get back to me on that about the pupil?
Oh yeah, my internet's out, so I'm off.
All right.
Ugh.
Any other complaints before we get out of here?
Complaints.
What?
No other complaints? I don't know. Life.
Hmm.
The high cost of food.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day. One square pie at Prince Street Pizza is around $65.
Dude.
Sicilian. And it's true. People are like, "Oh no, it's like $40 on the website." But I'm like, yeah. Well, if you look at the picture, the guy also added sausage, so you got an extra topping. And then there's a thing called tax and tip. So, anyways,
That sounds like a lot for pizza.
it's a lot. That's how much pizza costs now if you're going to get a pie.
That's crazy.
$60 for a square Sicilian, or a regular pie, round pie, large is around 30 something, $40. All right. Anything else I need to add to this piece here, Sean? You
I don't know. It looks great to me.
never show anything to Sean because that's all he says.
Looks great to me.
You know, we want a proper critique.
Can you put like a highlight on her boob?
I'm trying to put a highlight on her boob.
Sean also
Is that
says my art looks good, so I don't believe his compliments.
well? He says that to butter you up, so that then you'll like do some kind of pyrotechnic stuff for him.
Yeah,
Burn down something.
yeah.
I know Sean. I know Sean too well.
It's all
Oh
starting to
God,
make
remember that one time we went to one of those, strip clubs, and
Is that
there
all
was
you remember about me, Sean? Is this us
so
going
and we
to
got into
gentlemen's
I had
clubs?
I had a bad idea that almost got us killed because
Oh my God.
one of those girls, like one of those Russian dancers, had this Chinese character tattooed on her body, and when she was coming over, I said, "Hey, Bernard, tell her that tattoo says potato," and then I turned the other way, and then when she comes over, you're you're like talking whatever, and it's like, "Hey, why does this say potato on your arm?" And then she said, "Get out of here," and then you tapped me on
Oh
the
my
shoulder, and I turned around, and you said like, "Sean, what does that say?" And then I said, "It's like what like a root vegetable." And then she was like, "Oh, get out of here," and then she just left. But then when we came back a month later, she came right up to us and said that she wanted to kill us because
Jesus
even though
Christ.
she was acting very cool and everything, like she didn't believe us, she went immediately to her tattoo artist and then just kind of like talked it out with him and claimed that he tattooed potato on her arm, and then that tattoo artist was saying like, "No, they're fucking with you." So there was a bunch of, if we went back there like the next day or a week later, there was a bunch of Russian guys that were gonna mess us up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
but it wouldn't have happened if she didn't. I would have told her we was kidding around, but she was acting like really cool, like it didn't bother her. But it really didn't. She was hiding the fact that she was really messed up about it.
Oh, well, probably back in that time, it was.
So did they beat us up?
But she said that she had there was a bunch of Russian guys that work there that she was going to say like, those guys over there, beat the crap out of them or throw them out or something. But
Can't take a
so much
joke.
time had passed that she let it go because so much time had passed. And she gave you a lap dance, so there you go. It's a whole modern.
Was it free?
No, of course not.
She charged you extra.
See the kind of stuff. Oh, Sean only remembers the gentlemen's club stories. What about the time that we went to the library or the museum?
That was always code for a strip club, right? That's what we always
That
saw.
never happened.
Oh
What
my
about the
God.
time that we just hung out at home?
You know what? Your money complaints are no longer valid, Bernard. Now I know what you do with your money. You're spending at strip clubs.
But do those even exist anymore? Those like,
Strip clubs?
yeah.
They're doing
I
San
have no
Diego.
idea. I have no idea.
I don't know if they make as much money.
What happened to them? Like, what changed? The economy?
Well, there used to be a
COVID?
whole bunch right down by where you lived.
Yeah, but they're not there anymore. They're all empty.
How do you know, Sean?
Well, they're closed, right?
Yeah, yeah. They just look like it looks
They
like it's been
remodeled
shut down.
one in San
It's a
Diego.
Boston market now.
Yes. It's
Or
daycare
They
center
left.
now.
They left. They left
Chick-fil-A.
the sprinkles. They left the.
It's Chick-fil-A now.
They remodeled one of them here because they're in Kearny Mesa, which is also like the Asian Food Central. One shut down, which was a topless bar.
You talking about Boston Market or
No strip clubs.
Boston Market.
But I think
Kookaroo? I used to
two.
love Kookaroo.
There's like
You
3
guys
of
have
them. What is that?
It's a chicken place.
that?
Yeah.
Kookaroo.
Where
Yeah,
is it?
Kookaroo.
They don't have it here.
Kookaroo is amazing. Okay, I'm doing my Pepe La Ra's like little.
What are those speed lines?
little like light flares. Okay, let's
So
get out
when
of here.
he when
What?
Pepe Larraz does that stuff, does he draw that, or is it like in like a Photoshop layer filter or something?
He draws it. I think some of it is. I mean, I have speedline. I have a speedline layer. Like
Oh, let me ask you how you did this. On one of your recorded draw things, there was like a fist punching a face, and at some
yeah.
point, the fist looked exactly like a manga, kind of like
Yes.
crazy speedline
Uh-huh.
fist. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you didn't go with it. But how did you do
No.
that? Like, is that a filter, or is that you draw every squiggly line?
I drew every. I double copy paste. I think I blurred it, and then I added speed lines.
Oh,
Yeah.
it looked very impressive. Like it was like right out of One Punch Man, and then you just decided not to go with it.
You liked it? I thought it looked a little too.
Like you were Daniel Warren Johnson for a second.
I thought it looked a little too speed liney. See, I had the arm. I put the arm on a separate layer.
Yeah.
I've since deleted the extra layer, but let me see if I can recreate that.
So yeah, you did the Daniel Warren Johnson on it, and I just didn't know how that was done.
Motion blur. You can do this, right? So it blurs a little bit. I mean, of course, I still have the line underneath, and then on Procreate, you can do this canvas edit guide. How do you get that? Okay. So I've set the perspective guide or the drawing guide to perspective. Right now I can do this drawing assist, which allows me to hold the lines. And I have this brush that I use that I like. It's organic twig. This is a preset brush from Procreate. And you can just go and it'll, oops. It's assisted. Create another layer.
Do you think this is how the mangakas do it?
I don't know. I think they're using a ruler.
Oh, so that perspective guys make sure that the line all goes to a vanishing point and doesn't go crooked.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
So
that.
I can do it fairly quickly. And it'll still flow within the same perspective because it's the computer program is helping me. Now, is this cheating?
It's like
Yep.
auto tune. You never sing off tune.
Well, it's like a ruler, but it's a digital ruler.
What a hack.
It's
Want my
a
money
really
back.
compelling illusion, though. It really does look. Yeah, I think.
Right, so I used a black line.
See, that would take me an hour to do by hand in the ruler.
Right. This is right now. It's like a couple minutes, and then I go back in with a white pen, clean it up a little bit, get a little bit more separation.
And then ultimately you decide not to go with it.
Yeah. I felt that was a little too much. Although this looks better. The other version was like too much.
And then the very last scene of these recorded drawings is your colorist color layer, and his colors are just like the best in the business.
Yeah, Marcello really does a really great job. I'm very lucky to have met Marcello and to work with him. And so all of these are on different layers. Actually, this looks a little bit better. I should have maybe gone with this, but too late. Right? And then you can also again, you can take a look. If I just added the speed lines to that, how do you think that looks? Do you like this version better or this version?
Wow.
Which one? This one, the fist is a little bit more. What do you think?
It's cool that the snap-on guide that keeps your lines parallel.
Yep.
Parallel perspective.
I don't know. This is the book itself. Actually, I don't know if I have one with my. This is the April issue. April. That's the actual comic printed.
Yeah, that's a
These
great
kids-
color job.
Kids these days have this like moppy hair now, right? This
Kids
hairstyle.
these days.
You boomer. That's
So
terrible hair.
this one here.